This is question number 16 on the November 2013 higher calculator paper. Question 16 has two parts in it. It's worth 7 marks altogether. Part A is 3 marks, part B is 4 marks. And in part A, it wants us to solve this equation. Now, you should be able to see that in this equation we have the letter F. That's what we want to work out. So in my answer space, at the very end, I'm going to be saying that F is equal to a number, and that's what it means by solve. And what I need to sort out is bringing all the F's to one side, all the letters to one side, all the numbers to the other, and then eventually sort it out. But before I do that, I've noticed that there's a set of brackets here, which I need to get rid of by multiplying out. I need to multiply out everything inside the bracket by 5. So I'll get F times 5 is 5F minus 3 times 5, which is 15. So that's multiplying out the brackets on the left hand side, and that's equal to F plus 10. Okay, at this stage I could go on to get all the letters to one side, all the numbers across to the other. So I have 5F already there, so I don't need to do anything to that. I need to bring that F across here, but that F there, it doesn't have a sign in front of it, so that means it is positive, right? So when it comes across, it's going to be minus F. Numbers, 10 is on its own. It's a number, and it's going to stay put on that side. It doesn't move. I need to bring that 15 across, and that 15 is minus 15, which when it comes across is going to become plus 15. Now, all that's left to be done is tidying up both sides and working out what F is. So 5F take away 1F is 4F. 10 plus 15 is 25. I need to divide by 4 to work out what F is, and remember, this is a calculator paper, so it's totally okay to use a calculator. 25 divided by 4 is equal to 6.25, and that's going to be my result for this, 6.25, and that's what F is, 6.25. This is a pretty straightforward question, right? There's just one twist in it, but you should be able to do this, and at this stage of the paper, if you can accumulate marks here, this is going to be a bonus, right? Let's go on to part B and have a look at how to work that out. Part B is a very tricky looking question. However, you have the skills, you should have the basic skills of actually doing this. If you think about the problems, right, that you've done before and what you needed to do to sort things out there or get rid of numbers, right, you're using the same thing here. If I think about what my final answer to part B is going to be, they've asked us to work out or solve this equation. I therefore need to find out what H is equal to. That is what I'm going to indicate at the very end of this question. So let's think about what we need to do. In this particular question, I have H plus 7 over 3 plus 2H minus 1 over 2 and 5 over 6. I need to get rid of that 3, I need to get rid of that 2, and that 6. And I'm actually going to do that in 3 steps. I could do it in 1, but I want to do it in 3 steps so I can actually explain and show what I'm going to do. Over here, I'm dividing by 3. So the opposite of dividing by 3 is to times by 3. So I'm going to times every single term, which is this first one, H plus 7 over 3. I'm going to times it by 3. 2H minus 1 over 2. I'm going to times it by 3. And 5 over 6. I'm going to times it by 3. When I times H plus 7 over 3, when I times that by 3, that 3 at the bottom is going to disappear and leave me H plus 7. When I times this 2H minus 1 over 2, when I times that by 3, I'm just going to times the top bit. I'm going to times all of that by 3. So 2H times 3 is 6H. Minus 1 times 3 is 3. And that's still going to be over 2. It's just the numerator, the bit at the top, that I will be timesing. And I'm doing the same to that fraction there as well. I'll be timesing 5 by 3, which makes 15. And I'll still have over 6. Okay, so that's my first step. I've managed to get rid of that 3. Now I'm going to get rid of that 2. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to times everything by 2. So I'm going to times h plus 7 by 2, which is going to give me 2h plus 14, plus, when I times this fraction here, 6h minus 3 over 2, when I times that by 2, the 2 is going to disappear, leaving me 6h minus 3. And finally, when I times 15 over 6 by 2, I will get 30 over 6. Okay? I was going to times everything by 6, but if I look here, 30 divided by 6, I could actually do that. 6 goes into 30 5 times. And now I'm going to start working on the left-hand side here. How many h's have I got all together? I could collect and bundle them together to give me 2h plus 6h is 8h. Positive 14 take away 3 is positive 11. So here's my equation, and this is a pretty standard equation, right, that you should be able to do. I need to get rid of that 11, take away 11. 5 take away 11 is 6 minus 6. So 5 take away 11 is minus 6. And I just want to indicate, for those of you who don't know, you could do that on your calculator. 5 take away 11, and the calculator will show you the negative answer. It's minus 6, and I've got 8h on the other side. To work out what h is, I need to divide by 8. And so I'll be doing minus 6 divided by h. Because it's just one minus, that's a plus. My answer is going to be negative. 6 divided by 8. 6 divided by 8 is 0.75. So my answer is going to be minus 0.75. And that's what I'll write in that space. Minus 0.75. And that is my final result as well. So if I move this along, my final result is h is minus 0.75. If I just position this question for you to see the whole thing, understand it, make sure you could do it, make sure you can get all the marks in it. That question is worth 4 marks, and it is actually pretty straightforward if you break it up into smaller bits.